Hey guys, this is Mac G from Simp, and today I'm going to be talking about Cliffs. Cliffs is a fairly even map, although the South does have a slight advantage. The South has an easier time getting to the middle right here, and since the middle is so crucial to the map, it's generally a little bit easier from the South, but it's not something that's drastically in need of fixing. It's not as unbalanced as it could be. So let's start from the north. From the north, you have a few artillery positions you could take up. You have A4. There's bushes back there. You want to be on the K line, and then you have A2, where you could sit if you can't, or if you don't want to sit on the A4. A2 gets shots on the 1-2, and then it also gets slight shots back here. You just need to be very lucky, and you know, if you're a very fast artillery like the tier 6 British, the FE, you could get up top, but most artilleries are not quick enough to get up top, so you're limited to those two. If you're something like a tank destroyer, then you want to minimize the enemy's chance to get to your sides or your rear. So good spots would be the 5 line, using the D5 to fire at the mid, or if they try and wrap around the east to fire there. And then the other good spot would be somewhere in the D1. You can get shots right here if they're approaching there. You can just guard the 1-2. If you're something like a heavy tank, you're heavy and armored and you got a big gun, you'd be able to play this corner, and then you can either stop them if they're approaching. You can get side shots. You can get good shots into them. Or if they're not approaching and you see an opening, you can get up the ramp if they give you that opportunity. So if they give you an opportunity, then seize it. Another good spots for the heavy would be the D5, and then again, if you see an opportunity move up, take it. You don't want to be stuck in the D5 if you can get to the E5 unless there's artillery on the enemy team. And then again, the mid is an incredibly strong position if you can get your heavy to the E6, the E5 using the rocks for cover. Your heavy's in a good spot. If you're a medium, you're fast, but you're not that fast. Good spots are the ramp. If you have gun depression, the ramp is a good place to spot out to help your artillery. It's also very hard for the enemy artillery to hit you up here. And it gives your team very good eyes. If you don't have someone on the ramp, you're going to have a very difficult time winning on the north. Another spot would be this donut area. There's only room for one tank at this very tip of it, but you can use this area. You can use this area. There's a lot of cover in here, assuming there's no artillery. And then the other spot for a medium would be with a heavy right here. Stopping them if they're trying to push up the ramp or push the 1-2, and then if they give you the chance to get up the ramp, then take it. Getting into this area is always a good idea. And then of course, if you're very fast and lightly armored, then a good strong initial approach is to take the top and get right there into the E3 area where you have rocks and a bunch of cover. And then the last position, which heavies and mediums and TDs should not be going to, is the 8 line. Pretty much the 8 line should just be, don't worry about it. It takes too long in a regular battle to utilize it properly. So ideally, the only time you'd use it would be if the enemy has a massive force right here or right here. If you spot like 13 tanks and you know that the most there could be here on the 8 is 2, then you'd want to go a fast light tank and get a flank on the enemy team. You can sit in these buildings. You can do a lot of things. You can sit back here. There's rocks where you can get cover and get shots if they have a lot of tanks there. And you just use the 8 line, the 9 line as a flanking opportunity. It's not something to be pushed. It's something to flank from. And that should be covering pretty much all the positions from the north. So from the south, you really want to focus on taking the middle. From the north, you want to focus on getting to the ramp and then getting in a position to bully these guys right here in the mid, using this position from the F3. But from the north, you really want to bully them on the mid, take the mid, and then wrap around and just pretty much divide and conquer the north, as long as you have mid control. So if you're an arty, there's spots in the K5 area where you can shoot and get slight shots in this in the 5 line, and in this 5-6, and then also in the small parts of the 1 line. And most artillery pieces from the south stick in the K1, J1 area, and get shots down the 1-2 or down in this area. If you're a TD, if you're a heavy TD like a Ferdinand or a Jagdtiger or something with, or a T28 or something with good frontal armor, then you'd really want to be in this 1-2 area, the G2 or the H1 or the G1, and you'd want to just stop the enemy from pushing the 1-2. If you're a turreted TD or more of a glass cannon, like the Waffenträger, or a turreted TD like the Hellcat, you'd want to just go help and take the mid with your teammates. If you're a light tank, you can rush either the top or through the ramp and then up to the G2 position. There's a rock right here where you can scout and get good shots without them having good shots on you. You'd also want to play the ramp and scout the ramp. If they don't contest you, ideally you'd want to take the lighthouse, get up and take the lighthouse. You could either take the back path, which I just highlighted, or you can take the road, but the road you need to make sure that the north is clear. And then lastly, you could scout out the 8-9. If you're worried about them coming out the 8-9 in a light, then there's bushes right here where you could just scout them as they cross. And then if you're a medium or a heavy, you want to go help your team take the mid. So a medium could either get up to the mid and position itself in a rock and get shots on tanks as they're lit, or it could cross to the west and help control the ramp. When you're on either side, if you can control this area, then you can completely stop the 1-2 push, or if they get stuck down here, you can just shoot them up. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. So yeah, if you're a medium, you want to either take the mid or take the 3-line ramp control. And then if you're heavy, there's a position right here where you can shoot. There's bushes and you can shoot and get shots in this area, or you can be more along the curve. Hold down. If you're hold down heavy, you can use the curve, use the terrain, and you can get shots a little more in this area, in this region. And then also you can cross. It's very easy crossing to the 3-line from the south. And yeah, so from the south you definitely want to focus more on taking the mid. From the north you don't have as easy a time taking the mid, so you want to focus on taking the 2-line and the ramp. But from the south you definitely want to control the mid and then push from there. And then of course a light tank can always flank around if that's an option, if they leave that opportunity open to you. But as for the map cliffs, that's pretty much it. The mid is crucial, and then after the mid is the ramp. If you can control those two things, you control the map, and it's really up to you what happens from there, and it should be a win. So thank you again for taking the time to watch. Subscribe, follow us on YouTube, and you'll get the latest updates on our newest videos. And good night, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good day. Thank you.